we're going to move on to another fun team to watch, and that is Eddie Jones's Charges here.
I thought you were talking about Tonga.
Oh yeah, they're fun to watch too. It'll be definitely a bit of a mismatch, but a fun game. We're England hosting Tonga this Saturday, similar to kick-off time, 3:15. This is in Twickenham. It's going to be reffed by Craig Evans of Wales, an all-Welsh officiating team, Adam Jones and Andrea Piardi. An Italian woman, Andrea Piardi on the sideline with Adam Jones and Ben Whitehouse in the TMO box. Obviously, this is a bit of a mismatch, Tier 1 v Tier 2, classic stuff, and as we'll run through, England haven't taken mercy with their squad selection.
No.
So in their last meeting in the pools in the World Cup, England beat Tonga 35-3, and all previous meetings between the two teams have occurred at World Cups. England obviously having beaten Tonga on every occasion. That's right. I think it was in 1999, 2007 and 2019. So this is the first time they're playing them outside of a World Cup, which is somewhat intriguing. From Tonga's point of view, the Tongan team, obviously nicknamed the Akeli Tahi, they are, we were illustrating it last week or talking about it last week, they are kind of struggling for players. They're struggling to fulfill these fixtures. They have some men back this week. They have still a good squad, but it's going to be tough for them to just fulfill these fixtures and get something going. Scotland demonstrated last week what they're going to be up against, really, because England are going to try and move the ball, and some of the set piece strike plays were bamboozling them, but they showed good defiance and good kind of heart to grab that try. In Fiva they have a very good place kicker as well, so it's not all doom and gloom, but I'm cutting them all kinds of slack this time round, because I know that this is just going to be tough for them. Well, there's another reason why. I think even starting at England's point of view, they have named their team, and it is
merciless.
Pretty merciless.
Yes.
Jamie George was all lies. He's right back into the starting team, as he should be, one of the best hookers in the world. Ellis Genge partners him. Kyle Sinclair partners him on the other side in what is a ferocious front row. Yeah. And just when you couldn't get enough of that, they've got Maro Itoje and Johnny Hill in the locks. Courtney Laws, Sam Underhill and Tom Curry in the back row. This is a
World Cup final starting.
This is a full English team. This is unbelievable. Yeah. A full English breakfast for the Tongans. Ben Youngs and Owen Farrell at 9 and 10. Manu Tuolangi and Henry Slade in the centres. What did Tonga do to deserve that?
I don't know.
Johnny May, Adam Radwan gets a shot at right wing, and Freddie Stewart, after an impressive start to the season with Leicester, gets a run at fullback. They've also got Marcus Smith, obviously, as we know, and Alex Donbrandt to bring in off the bench those class Quins players. It's got Alex Mitchell in as well, Joe Marler to bring in off the bench. Very, very impressive looking England team. And
scary looking England team.
Yeah, they don't have a match against the All Blacks this November, but they do have matches upcoming against the Wallabies and the Springboks. Yes. And obviously that World Cup final replay will have been circled in their calendar for some time. They want to write
12 job.
Many times he had to say the scoreline.
I'm just going to drop the comment in before the Safa guys drop the comment in down below.
They will have had that game circled on the calendar from quite a ways out, and the Lions tour only rubs salt on that, so I think they're looking to get ready early and set out their stall with a massive win here.
Yes. They're going to try and hunt what the All Blacks have been doing, which is 100. They're going to be in that kind of ruthless form, because we saw them in the summer be a little bit dialed out with their changed outfit and kind of sometimes cough up. They allowed the US to grab a couple of maul tries in the second half, which is kind of unheard of for a Tier 2 side. I don't expect we'll see that from this England side. They are obviously playing for jerseys and playing for continuity as well. Very excited to see Tuilagi return to the field of play for England.
Looks pretty trim this year.
He's lost a few kilos in the off season and he started well, so definitely good to see him back, and I'm sure English fans are delighted with that as well. Donbrandt is exciting. He's the one who, because I think Sam Simmons was released from the squad during the week. I mean, he may come back in. They reduced the squad to 28 before this, which included a few guys who were injured, so basically just pick the match day squad and allow the other guys to play back at their clubs. But Don Brandt is one that has been touted, and he will probably be getting a run against a slightly fractured side, which is where he looks very, very good. Is kind of rangy running, and he has good offloading instincts as well. So there could be a field day for all these guys like Adam Radwin, who's been all hype as well. Like if they execute, he will be on the score sheet very early.
It'll just be interesting to see if the offense can generate its same rhythm. And to be fair to Tonga, they'll come out of the line and they'll hit teams, and Scotland showed that you can get after them if you fracture them, but you got to play accurate and you got to play smart. And England at their best have a sort of a pulsing offense that's really just full of options, but a really lovely rhythm to it.
True.
Which is it just looks
a few deceptive distributors like Jamie George out there, who like a Tongan would be forgiven for lining up to smash because you think here comes the smash, but then the ball could be gone. And that is for England. The sleight of hand and subtlety is what you want to see, because as much as they could kind of try and smash Tonga into submission, and probably would do that even though Tonga are big, it would be a little uglier and they might pick up a few injuries themselves, and it's definitely not the cleaner way to do it. Whereas Scotland did a very clean job last week of like scoring with their strike runners and their strike plays first before getting things like the maul going and whatnot. And I'd say England with a team like they have here, they should be looking to do something like that, set plays and patterns off scrum and line out to try and unpick this defence, and then with a mind towards going towards bigger things.
It's a team they've picked to be cruel. It's a team they've picked to give Tonga no ins, because Tonga's in is their kind of physicality, and this England team
potential dialed out disjointedness from England.
This is their full team with full physicality in display. They'll look to attack them at the line out, attack them at the scrum. They got to obviously watch the discipline. That's one of the few ins when they're dialed out. They give up penalties, silly things like a Toji at line outs, maybe missing the ball and then grabbing an arm, that kind of stuff.
Needless in this context. And they probably they likely won't, to be honest, annoyingly.
Be patient and build a score and be physical, and I think England will be hot favourites to run up a score here. That said, Tonga, they have announced 9 changes themselves. The French clubs have released their players to the Tongans mercifully, and we have Big Ben Tamifuna back in at tight head. A good battle between him and Ellis Genge upcoming, and he is,
although slightly harsh on Lola Hea for grabbing the only try of last week.
But Ellis Genge is such a monster of a scrummager. Big Ben is at least a tough man to move, tough man to move, to be fair to him. They've also got the very exciting and really top quality Toulouse Vianu coming back in at fullback.
He is dangerous.
He's very good. I remember
he can get any meaningful ball.
And even off kicks and stuff like that. Like he's hungry. He has a good boot on him, but he's a lovely attacking footballer. True. Very exciting player. Delighted to see him back in there. And so it's a little less depleted than it was
last week. And if guys like Fafita can carry on, he was good last week as well. Link up with him, maybe create something out there. It would be nice. Similar goals that I'm setting for pretty much all tier 2 teams in general when they face up a gauntlet like this. Can they not pale in the Twickenham shroud that tends to swallow up even top level teams, but certainly Peloponnesian teams historically don't travel to Twickenham very well, and they do. There is just that hoodoo that ends up with them being a little bit passive, which is exactly what you can't be. Like the only route to any success, not even a result, but any success, is being game for it. Like being dialed out, it results in what happened to the US when the All Blacks came to town and they were grinning at the haka, and you end up getting ripped apart. They need to be bullish and get themselves to the right place mentally before kickoff to play at least play their game.
Force England to not give anything cheap on the inside. To smash people. If England can
that's
run
what I
at
would
them,
like to see. If they're getting going around the corner in a little bit of a predictable fashion, line them up and smash them. Remember that big hit they put in on Billy Vunipola in that World Cup game?
Do it to Tom Curry.
It'd be great to see. I do want to see good technical hits from Tongans. I'm understanding that it won't go their way. I would like for the longest time possible for the heads to stay up and for them to stay as cohesive as they can.
And they have they do have some ballers out there as well. So if the chances fall to them, Vayani, Fafita, as you say, they do have some lovely attacking players as well as big players, and can take a try if it's there. So I'd love to see them get on the scoreboard, grab a couple of sneaky ones. But I must say overall, there's not much to analyse here. It is a mismatch.
It is a mismatch. That's true. Tonga doing right by fulfilling these fixtures, I guess, but it's a pinch of salt and all the slack that I can cut them. England, why would you Why would you pick such a team? Would you not play England A or close to? No,
they don't. They want to get ready for. They don't want any momentum.
I know why.
Because do you know why? It's because they don't need Eddie Jones to be full of annoying Tonga-related "why did you misfire" questions in the build-up to these games against Australia and South Africa.
True.
It needs to be all momentum. England are a momentum-craving kind of side.
It's true.
And so they need to rack it up here against Tonga. Tonga have 2 more games to go after this. They play the French Barbarians next week and then finish up the series against Romania.
That's a better game. That's a better game. And they'll be primed for it after being thrown in the deep end, so to speak. But for this one, I see nothing but red roses. Really, a dominant show from the home side is what I'm expecting, and I'm gonna say they put 60 on them, but don't quite get to 70.
That's interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that Tonga's introduction of their 9 players means that they're going to be more bullish, more hungry. It's not going to go all England's way in the early stages. That they are going to show up with a bit of aggression and energy and make a fist fight of it at times.
Yeah.
It was 35-3 in the World Cup when Tonga were physically there for the challenge and geared up. And I backed them a little bit on the defensive side to try and stymie England. I hope they get 1 or 2 tries as well. I'd take
emotionally charged Sippy Tau pre-kickoff.
That kind of stuff.
So
I'm going to go ahead and say it'll be like 50 points to 11 and not quite as good as the Scots did.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, I'm anticipating slightly more than that. Who you got and what's your spread? Because if anyone's predicting Tonga, you're a brave man. But to my eye, England are the stronger side by quite a distance, and Twickenham is a factor in and of itself, and it's going to be full of bullish English fans, and it's all coming up good for England this week. But they have big tests to come themselves.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for tuning into the Overlap Rugby podcast. If you're new here, please do like and subscribe and ring the bell as well so you'll be notified when we upload. But mainly drop a comment down below as well. We love hearing your thoughts on the rugby. Cheers.